And the day is here because 2xKO is finally on console, and with that also Caitlyn makes it into the roster of the game. And I know that a lot of people are going to be giving Caitlyn a try, so in this video I'm going to help you to learn the character by giving you 5 things that you must know about her so you can understand her playstyle, her strengths, and the game plan that she wants to execute. So now let's get into it.
That's Sheriff Cupcake. Sighted. Not on my watch. Headshot.
Yes!
Cheers. We need cover. Not on my watch.
Okay, so the first thing that you must understand about Caitlyn and incorporate into your game plan is gonna be her traps or S2 specials. And the reason why we're going over this instead of the sniper rifle first is because I feel like a lot of people are gonna get over-obsessed about the sniper and ignore the traps. And when you actually analyze what the traps can do for you, all the utility they have, the fact that most of them actually work as combo starters, and they also give Caitlyn unique movement options like air dashes, it is absolutely crazy how strong the traps are. And they are arguably the best tool that she has as a character to play neutral. The first trap that you're gonna be using to play neutral with Caitlyn is gonna be her S2 in the air. It has really long range. It's also a great keep out tool because it covers specifically the space on the screen in which people will probably be jumping in on you, and at the same time it gives Caitlyn a unique movement option, which is a backwards air dash. And even if this air dash is not the fastest in the world or anything like that, it is enough to, for example, bait anti-airs, and the trap on hit is a full combo starter. So this is going to be one of the quintessential neutral tools for Caitlyn, and you need to be abusing the S2 special in the air. It's really strong and super versatile. Then the second trap that you're gonna use to play neutral is gonna be her back S2, which is actually a forward air dash. And the reason why this is so relevant is because, taking into account that Caitlyn is a character with so many ways to control neutral and to apply mental stack, people are not gonna be ready to adapt when you change your playstyle into a rushdown character and essentially go in instead of playing as a zoner. So it's going to be super important to adapt your playstyle and use tools like this to create cross-up situations in neutral, or for example go in instead of playing the long range with the sniper or the other traps. It's gonna make Caitlyn less predictable and even stronger. And then obviously you also have even more options for traps. You have the grounded version of S2, you have down S2 with the cupcake trap to control the ground more than the air. So do not forget about using the traps in neutral. Is going to be arguably one of the best options for Caitlyn, even better than the actual sniper. But don't worry, now we're gonna go over the sniper rifle. And now we move into the second thing you gotta understand about Caitlyn, and it's gonna be her sniper. Of course, it's attached to the S1 button. If you press S1, you get a shot. If you press it again, you get another shot. And it is essentially connected to almost every single interaction with the S1 button. If, for example, you do back or forward S1, which is the rolls that we're gonna talk with more detail later, you can also press S1 again and get a shot. You can also press down forward S1, and she's actually gonna use the sniper kind of like on an anti-air angle. And you can also just keep the S1 button pressed to charge the bullets and also change the aim if you're moving your joystick or D-pad. And it's essentially gonna be one of the most simple but effective tools that Caitlyn has to play the game. Now the real sauce with the sniper is when you charge the bullets, because for example, you hit someone with a bullet and you charge the second one and you're in the corner, you can get a full combo out of a crumple state that is caused by the second charged bullet, and it can do a ton of damage. And then if you're in a mid-screen situation, this is not gonna work, but you can actually charge the first bullet and also the second one, and in the mid-screen it's gonna cause a wall bounce and give you a full combo. So in that sense, if you want to get the most out of the rifle, you need to look for situations in which you can hit people with charged bullets, not with the regular ones. And they're gonna work basically as combo starters, and you can get 50, 60, 70% life depending on your resources out of a single, basically rifle shot. Hey, just in the case that you've been enjoying the content until now or find it useful, learn something new, please consider giving this video a like or subscribing to support the channel. We love finding news over here, including 2xKO, Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, whatever you can think of. So thank you for the support, and let's continue with the Caitlyn guide. And now we can finally move into the third thing that you must know about Caitlyn, and it's gonna be how to use her roll and her overhead mix-up. And these tools are done with forward S1 and back S1 for the roll, and forward S2 for the overhead. And the reason why they are so important is because it doesn't matter that Caitlyn is a zoner or that she's a neutral heavy character. If you have the opportunity to create a sandwich with your assists and with these tools for Caitlyn, you need to do it. Like, sandwich mix-ups are arguably the biggest win condition on 2x KO. It doesn't matter if your character is a heavy rushdown mix-up, you know, like Echo or something like that. It is whatever. Like, if you have the opportunity to do a sandwich, you have to do it. So taking that into account, every single time that you're on top of the face of your opponent and you have an opportunity to do a sandwich mix-up with your assist, you should be using backwards or forward roll to do a cross-up into the assist to cover you up, and then essentially try to open your opponent up with either grabs, overhead low mix-ups, or even another cross-up. It is really relevant to apply that into your pressure, and it's gonna make Caitlyn a much stronger character. And after you get used to applying the sandwich pressure and using your rolls, you need to also add into the formula the forward S2, which is Caitlyn's overhead. Even if this button is not the most, you know, super fast overhead in the world, it is still gonna be enough to open people up, and the damage that you can get out of it is bonkers. You gotta understand that these combos and setups with the reflector are day one tech, and obviously since I'm not a professional level player, I'm not gonna get the most insane optimal stuff right away, so the potential that this has is literally the sky. You need to start doing the sandwich pressure and using your forward S2 overhead. And now we get into the fourth thing that you gotta know about Caitlyn, and this is something a little more niche, but that I really wanted to add to this video because I feel like it's gonna actually make a huge difference if you add it to your game plan, and that is using air throws, because Caitlyn has, you know, the possibility of doing air throws, and she can actually get full combos out of the air throws, even if the combo routes are a little more, like, you know, limited because of the hit stun numbers related after the throw and the trap. You can get still a lot of damage, and again, I'm not doing anything super optimal, you know, I'm just trying to showcase what she can do. And depending on the team that you play and whatever, you know, most optimal setup you can develop, you can highly likely get, you know, 70% health out of an air throw with this character, which is incredible. Like, we're talking about a character that can control the pace of the match with the zoning and the traps, and then if she actually gets an air throw, yes, an air throw on you because you try to jump in and she reads that, she can just almost kill you. It is absolutely crazy. It's incredibly strong, so you need to take into account this air throw tech and kind of like incorporate it into your game plan. It's gonna make a big difference, even if it's something a little more niche about her. And now we get into the final tip of the video, and it's gonna be a mix of plus frame setups and Oki setups. The first one for the plus frames is gonna be that some of the projectile and trap options that Caitlyn has are actually plus on block. You know, you remember that at the start we talked about using the traps to play neutral. Well, they are also plus on block, and they can be really plus, like plus 18, plus 20, depending on how you use them, and it's gonna be really hard to deal with them because they can also work as a combo starter, right? So this is one of the strongest things about Caitlyn, and you need to be using this, you know, traps not only to play the neutral, but also to think of setups in Oki situations in which you can use the traps as plus frames and essentially get your turn without any worry. And here you have some examples of setups that you can use with the traps. The first one is against people that want to do wake up attack or a reversal essentially. And what you do is that after a hard knockdown Oki, like for example a grab or a combo that gives you a hard knockdown, you can do a neutral jump into down S2, and the trap is going to eat the DP, and then you can punish it because it's not going to hit you due to the unique movement that Caitlyn does after throwing the trap. And then you can also do this other setup that is similar, but it works to bait burst or to bait break. And it's gonna be really strong to use these situations after knockdowns with Caitlyn, because if people do something that is a mistake due to these setups, you get a punish, and if they don't do anything, you're plus 20, okay? So really strong and useful in every single match. So that was the video, guys. I hope that it was useful, that it helped you to learn how to play Caitlyn. I tried to make it as practical as possible. So let me know in the comments what you think. Also, let me know if you want to see a full character guide with detailed information like the one that I did with Warwick for Caitlyn. And thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you can to support the channel. See you on the next one, and keep enjoying 2xKO.